Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me. On this episode of Build Your Own, we're going to build, price, and option a 2019 Genesis G80 3.3 Turbo Sport, as well as learn about the features and configurations. Before we do, however, I just want to remind you that if you find this build and price review helpful, informative, or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Now in its third year of production, the 2019 Genesis G80 continues to bring performance and refinement to Hyundai's luxury division. Thanks to 3 available engines and their associated configurations, the G80 covers the broad ground expected of a midsize luxury sedan. There's also a robust list of standard features: leather upholstery, heated front seats, an infotainment system, anchored with an 8-inch color touchscreen display that fetches far more money when equipped on similar competitors. For 2019, the G80 carries over mostly unchanged, but a new 3.8 Sport package adds 19-inch wheels and styling trim cribbed from the Sport model to liven up the base sedan. It also adds a bounty of other premium features, such as a sunroof, a surround view camera, and a wireless charging pad. If you're keeping score, this year's Sport package is essentially last year's premium package. The 2019 Genesis G80 is a 5-passenger midsize luxury sedan available in 3 trim levels: 3.8, 3.3T Sport, and 5.0. The number correlates to the size of the engine under hood. For a base trim level, the G80 3.8 is anything but basic, with a wealth of standard features that equal or surpass most of its class. The G80 5.0 adds larger wheels and minor trim enhancements, and notably more power from a V8 engine. The G80 3.3T Sport is more oriented towards performance driving with its turbo V6 engine and dynamic suspension. The base model G80 3.8 gets a 3.8-liter V6 engine that makes 311 horsepower, 293 pound-feet of torque. It is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and rear-wheel drive as standard, though all-wheel drive is optional. The new G80 3.3T Sport gains a turbocharged 3.3-liter V6. This makes 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of torque. This vehicle trim level also gets 19-inch wheels and adaptive suspension. And the G80 5.0 Ultimate uses, of course, a 5-liter V8 engine that makes 420 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. Even in its base trim, the 2019 Genesis G80 feels like a proper luxury sedan. There are plenty of premium features which you can also option up with the Sport or Ultimate packages, but I'd go for the 3.3T Sport instead. It's essentially a 3.8 with both option packages and an upgraded engine, an adaptive suspension, and nicer wheels. Yes, it costs more than a fully loaded 3.8, but I think the added performance is worth it. Okay, let's jump into this build and price review of the 2019 Genesis G80. We are going to actually build and price the 3.3T. That's the mid-level 3.3T. I think it's the sweet spot. It's got the V6 turbo engine, and it's got all the luxury of the top-tier G80 5.0 Ultimate. Let's actually finish taking a look at these gallery images. And then what we'll do after that is we'll go through and learn about the rest of the features, right? The design features, there's performance features, technology features, safety features, and then there's something they call experience. So we're going to learn about those categories, those features of the new 2019 Genesis G80. But before we do that, real quick, before I forget, I did a car that's a competitor of this car, a German car that costs a lot of money, that this car is competing against, the 2019 BMW 540i sedan with the M Sport package. Yes, a beautiful car, but you're going to certainly pay for it. If you're interested in that video, I'm going to put a link up in the corner right now. Okay, so I showed this image during the intro. The interior of the Genesis G80 is gorgeous. It's quite nice in here. I got no complaints. Let's look at the rest of these photos real quick. Here's a nice shot where we can see the second row and the first row seating. I'm not usually a fan of light color interior, but it is nice in here. You know, I do wonder how these materials feel, how this panel feels down here. Does it feel like cheap plastic down here? How do these buttons feel? Things like that. Where are the corners being cut to give us all this luxury at a lower price point than most of the rivals? So yeah, not to take away from the car, I think it looks wonderful. Looks like here we can do this little virtual walk around. Yeah, I do think the Genesis brand looks great. I've been seeing Genesis on the road, and they look beautiful. They are stunning. Their front ends are very nice. Doesn't matter the trim level. G70, G80, G90. You know what? I've done the G70 and I've done the G90. I've done the build and price reviews of both. So what I'll go ahead and do is actually put up a link to my Genesis playlist. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link up to the Genesis playlist right now. Okay, let's see about these design features for our 2019 Genesis G80. The first thing they're telling us is that there's a hands-free smart trunk with auto open feature. I'm assuming that this is standard stuff. So there's the hands-free smart trunk with auto open feature. There's an available panoramic roof. The word available, if you don't know, means that it's optional. Does not come standard on any trim level of 2019 Genesis G80, not even the 5.0 Ultimate. So this available panoramic sunroof can tilt and slide so it can let in fresh air, and it does look quite nice. And then lastly, and I was actually even talking about this, that bold crest grille. The front end of the Genesis is very strong. The wheels are gorgeous. The lighting design is beautiful. I love how the lower fascia integrates underneath the lighting right here, and you've got all this chrome. This is a beautiful car. Yeah, it says make a memorable first impression framed by a wide athletic stance. Yeah, I'm going to agree with all of that. It is very, very gorgeous. Okay, they're talking about legroom, headroom, and breathing room, but the first thing I notice is the little piping on the seats. And that's a nice little upscale touch. So yeah, they're saying, hey, we're going to be able to appreciate the room and we can stretch our legs and relax thanks to the very spacious cabin. It's remarkably quiet. It's enhanced by intuitively placed controls. There's even available Napa leather interior, heated and cool seats, and of course that panoramic sunroof. So yeah, here's that Napa leather. So I guess the Napa leather is the leather that gets the piping, and that's probably how you can tell at glance on a Genesis G80 whether or not it has the standard leather interior or the Napa leather interior. Then it looks great in black. That is a gorgeous interior in black. Heated and ventilated seats. So right, this is another. Oh, wait a minute. They say the G8 features standard heated front seats and available cooled and ventilated front and rear seats. So you got standard heated seats by default. But if you want cooled and ventilated seats, then that's an upgrade. Okay, so we've gotten through the design features. We've looked through the gallery. We've gotten through my intro. And now we can talk about performance. We already we already know about the performance. We know about the performance of the 3.8, the 3.3T, and, of course, they're showing us the horsepower number here because they got the G80 Ultimate 5.0 at 420 horsepower. The reality is that it only puts out a little bit more, a skosh more torque than the 3.3T, and the 3.3T is going to make its torque a lot lower in the power band than the big V8. And so if you really want peppy and sporty, you want to go with the G80 3.3T Sport, which is why we are. So there's a standard 8-speed automatic transmission with Shiftronic. Surely that's going to be standard across the board. Probably doesn't matter which vehicle you get. There are steering wheel mounted shift paddles as well. The vehicle even has rev matching to flawlessly manage all shift points, providing a smooth dynamic. So it'll still make you look good even if you don't know what you're doing, basically. Let's see. Advanced high-strength steel body. All right, of course, that's going to be standard. It's incredibly strong. It's light. It's got all these great alloys, rigid core structure, blah, 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 all that. And then last but not least, like I was saying, that this vehicle is standard in rear-wheel drive. However, you can option the 2019 Genesis G80 with an all-wheel drive system. So, will we put all-wheel drive on ours? I think so. If they offer it as an option on the G80 3.3T Sport, yes, we will do it with all-wheel drive for sure. Okay, so here they are talking about that 8-speed transmission again, but this time they're letting us know that there's an intelligent drive mode. That's going to let us fine-tune performance settings from comfort to sport with a simple push of a button. Okay, that's something that's not that's very common in with cars nowadays. You've got this transmission settings: sport, comfort, eco, and when you press the button, say for sport, it's going to tighten up the throttle response. It's going to tighten up the throttle, your steering input, and make your steering a little sharper. It's going to change your shift points on your transmission. It's all standard stuff to make the car feel peppier, not to take away from what Genesis is doing, but just to kind of explain that, hey, everybody's doing this too, but it's still cool. Look what I'm talking about here. Here's the 2019 Genesis G80 Sport. And honestly, look at the front end. Remember when we were looking at the gallery of that very first one, it was a white photo. I was remarking about how the LED lights look. Now the front end on the Sport looks completely different. Completely different. Yeah, it says it takes the performance to a whole new level. The 3.3 twin turbo engine, 365 horsepower, 19-inch Sport alloy wheels. It's got the Sport CDC suspension, it says. Gives it nimble handling and enhances safety. It's got aggressive body styling, dark chrome accents, which I can see, and it's got a sporty look. Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. So since we are highlighting and doing a build and price specifically on the 2019 Genesis G80 Sport, let's go ahead. I went ahead and clicked that more information or explore button so we can find out more about this vehicle. So the fuel mileage, the fuel consumption, the fuel economy of the Genesis G80 3.3 Sport is 17 in the city, 25 on the highway. We know it makes 365 horsepower. Its starting price, its starting MSRP is $55,250. It's worth noting that this vehicle does have a 5-star overall safety rating as well. We have gallery images of the Sport specifically. See, they don't call it the Genesis G80 3.3T Sport. They just say Genesis G80 Sport, and that's what they mean by their 3.3. So there's that is. Very cool front end. Let's take a look at the rest of these photos. That looks good, right? The dark chrome accents, right? It's hard to press that little button. There we go. This one probably has that panoramic. No, this one does not probably have the panoramic sunroof. I do like it in the blue. I'm not really a blue car guy, but the blue stuff is starting to grow on me. This looks good in blue. I can see an available head-up display right down there. I see a head-up display on the top of that dashboard right there. Looks pretty good. Are we missing a photo? Yeah, it looks like we're missing a photo. Where's the other ones? Well, that little red photo down there didn't want to open. And it looks like this little exhaust photo right here doesn't want to open either. Did you see that? It looks like they've got some things they need to work out on their website. At any rate, we can see the little exhaust tips and the little spoiler, the little integrated spoiler into the trunk. Looks great. Wish we could have gotten this nice side shot with these blacked out mirror caps and everything, but you can see it here. And I guess we can see it here on this photo as well. So yeah, let's move on now. Well, who knew they had a whole tab just for the Genesis G80 Sport? We could have jumped over all that other stuff we just did. But you know what? It's all good. So let's go through the rest of the gallery for the Sport. Then we'll learn about its performance, its design, technology, safety, experience. We'll go through it really, really fast. It won't take us long. Here's a nice shot of the interior. Looks good, right? All right, so here's one of those points. Remember I said, where are they cutting corners at? Where are they cutting corners? I'm not going to necessarily call it cutting corner, but say, for instance, brand new Audi. I just recently did an Audi A6, and it's got that beautiful TFT, all customized computer display screen that puts the whole Google map across the whole dashboard, all that. I don't see that in this car, right? That's kind of the things I'm talking about, where they were able to cut that corner to make that price point, to give you all this other tech. Where are they leaving things out? It's probably on stuff like that. Not to take away from the car. These seats are gorgeous. They're really bolstered. I love the contrast stitching. The car is great. I'm certainly not taking away from it. What I am taking away from are these issues that they're having with their photos, but we're okay. Let's go ahead and close it out. We can be able to just see the rest of them at the corner here, honestly. We already saw that photo, didn't we? We saw this clock, right? That doesn't want to open. That's fine. We know what the pictures look like. We see the interior. It looks really, really good. Let's move on. Here, they're just telling us about the horsepower. 365 horse, 376 pound-feet of torque. Made it to that standard 8-speed automatic transmission. Here, we're going to talk a little bit about performance, right? Again, they're just telling us about that engine. The standard 8-speed automatic transmission with the rev matching. We already know about that. Here's what we don't know about. High performance brakes, right? They even say Genesis on there. So they give us better deceleration and all that. And then of course there's that CDC Sport suspension. They call it the continuous damping control system, which automatically adjusts damping force, ensuring you superior ride comfort. So yeah, it looks good. Love the back end of this thing too. Okay, we're going to go through the design super fast, sort of, kind of. Obviously, we know that they've changed the front end. We know that the interior looks a little bit different, and it's got more robust athletic features, right? It's got the aggressive sport styling. There's the dark 19-inch alloy wheels that are very nice. It's got the sport interior, which is way nicer than the regular interior. Definitely got to get ours with black leather. Hopefully this standard carbon fiber trim is there. If not, we'll certainly put it on there. Yeah, here it is. Carbon fiber trim, the sport steering wheel, the aluminum sport pedals, which are gorgeous. It's very, very nice. Then you got the premium leather sport seats with contrast stitching. I had already mentioned it. It's copper accented stitching, and it's very nice. Okay, let's talk about technology. Let's talk about technology for our 2019 Genesis G80 Sport. Okay, it's got an impressive list of technology. It's got navigation, HD touchscreen. There's available heads-up display, surround view monitor, all that. Let's find out some more. Well, I guess that was all there was to find out. Let's move on to some other technology. I thought they were going to dig into that. Here they're telling us about it's got the Lexicon premium audio system with quantum logic, 17 speakers, surround sound, plus Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's a nice vehicle. There is nothing wrong with this vehicle. You know, the very first vehicle I did, speaking of a BMW 540i, the very first vehicle I did for my channel way back a couple of years ago was a BMW 550i. That's the V8 version. The 540i is the 6-cylinder version. Right, I already put a link up to that video, the 540 that is. Yeah, on that car, it's a subscription service just to get the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And yeah, to get all of this stuff that they're mentioning, it's going to cost a lot more money. This car can certainly compete with a BMW 540i. Let's see, more technology. So, standard high-definition navigation and a 9.2-inch display. Split screen allows you to check navigation and traffic information as well as other audio and visual data. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, that heads-up display is standard. If you watch this channel, then you know I love head-up display and digital speedometers. If you don't, go ahead and click this little subscribe button you've been seeing down here in the bottom corner all this time. Go ahead and do that. Then there's that Lexicon audio system. Looks to be standard. I don't see the word available or anything like that. Then you got the standard wireless charging as well. We can see an aux port as well as USB there as well. Okay, so we learned about a bunch of stuff. We looked at the gallery, the performance, the design, the technology. We got all of that. We have to talk about safety. So, what is it about that? There's an array of advanced safety technology, including forward collision warning, pedestrian detection, and all that. Let's see what this Genesis G80 sedan comes with. Okay, we got forward collision avoidance assistance. We've got smart cruise control with stop and go, and we've got lane keeping assistance. We're not going to drop into any of those. We're just going to talk about we're just going to hit the highlights, which we did. If you want to stop to make sure you read all the little information, just pause the video. I'll wait for you. Moving on, other standard or other seemingly standard safety equipment is the 9 airbag system. That's surely standard. There's blind spot collision warning, right? This lets you know if there's a car coming up in your rear blind spot. There's also a rear cross traffic collision warning. And there's also a driver attention warning as this guy's looking out the window over here. Okay, so the Genesis experience. It's all about all the service after you buy the car, kind of seems like. Kind of reminds me of like Lincoln and their black label kind of stuff. So yeah, what are we talking about here? Lots of stuff. We've got Genesis connected services, service valet, multimedia navigation updates. Let's click on these real fast and see what they say super quick. Oh, the information just pops up down here. So this Genesis Connected Services is a 3-year complimentary connected service which offers a suite of safety, guidance, and remote features such as enhanced roadside assistance, destination search, and remote start with climate control. This Genesis Service Valet, Again, this is something that's complimentary for 3 years or 36,000 miles. This thing will perform a remote diagnostic check, pick up your vehicle, send a courtesy replacement, and return your Genesis when it's ready. This is a courtesy service or complimentary service for the first 3 years or 36,000 miles. That's actually pretty cool. This multimedia and navigational updates, right? They're going to update your maps and all that. You got this complimentary maintenance. So for the first 3 years or 36,000 miles, they're going to give you they're going to take care of your normally scheduled maintenance. Because why? Because it's pretty cheap. There's nothing that a new car really needs. An oil change, tire rotation, real simple stuff. It's not like they're coming out of pocket for a lot of it. Then this whole Sirius XM audio, traffic, and data. This is a 3-year complimentary thing you get when you buy the thing new. Gives you a trial to 150 channels. If you watch the channel, you know I don't really care about Sirius XM on any level, and they offer like a bazillion different versions of them, and every manufacturer offers all that stuff. So Sirius is well integrated into the automotive community. Last but not least, there's this 24/7 enhanced roadside assistance. That kind of speaks for itself. They provide tire changes, transportation to the nearest Genesis dealership, all that kind of stuff. Reimbursement for any overnight inconvenience. I guess while the vehicle's under warranty, and if it breaks for a warrantyable part, I guess, right? That would be the fine print on that, probably. So yeah, I think we've gone through everything. We went through the gallery, the performance, the design, the technology, the safety. Hey, let's go build and price with this bad boy now. Well, it doesn't seem like it's starting off on the trim level that we want, because if we look up here in the corner, it says that this is a Genesis G80 3.8, right? Which is fine. We'll go through the whole thing. So we got all these little things that we can click to do stuff. So let's click on headlights. What is it going to tell us about the headlights? Oh, we could just look at the headlights. Okay. What about driver's seat? Okay, this just allows us to look in the vehicle. Yes, we could do like a virtual walk around in the vehicle. That's sort of cool, I guess. Yeah, let's exit out of that. Let's actually move on to trim. Now let's move on to... Okay, so this is step 1 of 3, trim and exterior color. Now up here we see rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. And like I said, if we could option this vehicle with all-wheel drive, we will. I know that I want all-wheel drive. And yes, I still see the Genesis G80 3.3 Sport as an option. Now it goes up to $57,750. That's what we want right there. Okay, unfortunately, boy, the car itself is a horrible rendition. We really can't see very much of it. This color here is a Victoria Black. Here's a Havana Red. Here's the Siberian Ice. Casablanca White. These must be the only exterior colors available. I'm not really crazy about any of them. So based on that, you know what? Just for fun, I think the Havana Red looks kind of cool, actually. I've been thinking about red cars. I think the Havana Red looks kind of cool. So we're going to do our Genesis G80 3.3T Sport in all-wheel drive. This starts at $57,750. We're going to do it in Havana Red. Okay? We're going to do it in Havana Red. So now let's move on to packages next. Seeing that these cars come pretty loaded, there's probably not much to do. There's a standard sport package, which I think we already have. There's black leather. We already got that. What does this do? We already have all this stuff. Oh, the Napa Sport seating and all that. Do we want that? I guess we do. I think we already have it, though. Oh, it's standard. We already have that. The black Napa leather, the carbon fiber interior, all of that. Honestly, let's take a look at the accessories, see if there's anything we want over there. And honestly, we're going to probably wrap this build and price up. Okay, here we are for our accessories. Actually, we can see a better look of this car now. That looks much better now in Havana Red. Alloy wheel locks, yep, cheap security. The rear bumper applique, nah. The mud guards, yes, I want to protect the vehicle with the mud guards. Do they show a picture of that? Can we see a picture of that? Nope. Nope, they don't show us a picture. So we've got the wheel locks and we have the mud guards for exterior accessories. For interior accessories, we don't need a first aid kit, nor do we need a reversible cargo tray. Well, maybe we do need a reversible cargo tray. Yeah, we'll do that. Nah, we won't, because I can't see a picture of what that actually looks like, so we're not going to worry about that. So we went ahead and we've got our accessories. Let's go to the summary. Okay, there it is. Life for this vehicle started at $55,000 and change. It was no surprise that there was not going to be much to option on this. So you get a fully loaded Genesis G80, lots of horsepower, lots of technology, Napa leather interior, everything for under $60,000. I guarantee you that 2019 BMW 540i sedan with an M Sport package and all that, it's not $60,000, my friend. And you can check that out by watching the video. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, actually. I have printed off this build summary, so if you like the way that I spec'd out this car, you can download the build summary in the description below. Other than that, I think you should watch some other videos. Check out the Genesis playlist. Watch that BMW 540i video. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to tell you to have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. If you found this content helpful, informative, or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the very next